Ciao. Hi, I'm Eliana. I'm from Argentina. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I do this when Nestor asks too. As you can see, he's a very big influence on us. And so I'm ready to talk about love, particularly my love for wine. Yeah, thank you, yeah. So my idea of a perfect date in my hometown, Buenos Aires, starts with a couple of glasses of wine at a bar, then walking down the street with no particular direction, and making out with a little bit of a wine breath until someone says we're next. So when I moved to Chicago and I learned that the average glass of wine is $12, my heart sunk. I mean, I love wine, but I also have very strong feelings for food and shelter. So what I did is I just stopped drinking altogether, and I was doing fine until I went on a date. We were meeting on a Tuesday. He was gonna come after a bike shop he was volunteering at, and I also asked that we finish early because I had stuff that I had to do the morning after. So it was already not a super romantic setup, and both of our outfits reflected that. He was wearing a white, dirty t-shirt, denim shorts and sneakers, and I had a sundress and no makeup on, partly because it was a casual date, but also because it is Chicago summer and it would have melted off on the red line. And to make it even less romantic, I remember that people here don't greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. So I walk into this bar in Rogers Park, I say hi, and I sit down. I didn't even bother to look at the menu. I'm sure they had a great wine selection, but all I could afford was soda, so that's what I ordered. Not my date. My date ordered a peach and pineapple cocktail. And the server was smart and kind, because he asked, "Do you guys want separate checks?" Which is way more polite than saying, "Don't waste your time, he's dirty, you are broke, this isn't going anywhere." Immediately after the server leaves, my date asks me, "Oh, do you not drink?" And I might be poor, but I'm not a liar. So I say, "No, I don't." The date was going good. I mean, the conversation was great, so much so that I brought up the femicide rate in the US. I guess there's other people who feel the same way as me. For those of you who are not bringing this topic up on the first date, the way my brain works is women are disproportionately burdened by men. You're a man, I like you, you won't kill me, will you? This is how I've learned to flirt. So there had been no wine, but there was still the hope for the walk, the kiss, and maybe, who knows, the after plans. So we finished our conversation at the bar, and he walks me to the train because the limo wasn't available that day. And the train is only like 10 feet away, so that's a bummer already. And we're at the train, and we're saying goodbye. He told me he had a really good time, I would love to see me again. I told him I had a really good time, I would also love to see him again. And then he stops and says, "Eliana, I just wanted to know that I don't kiss on the first date." And I was shattered. Like, that was a death sentence, another kind I had anticipated. I went home knowing this was the first and the last date. And to my surprise, he texted me and asked me on a second date. I was confused. Things weren't going the way I expected, but I was interested enough to give this another try. So I said yes, and we went to the beach. And we swam, and we sunbathed, and we talked. And in the middle of that talk, he kissed me. And we need to do a little aclaración here, because in the rest of the continent, he legally didn't kiss me. Don't worry, I'll walk you through this. I'm Argentinian. We kiss like our tongues are playing a UFC match. What he gave me was less like a kiss and more like a pigeon eating all bread out of the ground. felt romantic. I was excited, and I wish I had a glass of white wine and fresh fruit, and instead I have a little bottle of Diet Coke that I poured from a larger bottle of Diet Coke. I'm having a great time. This is so exciting. And he says that for a third date, we should go thrift shopping. And I feel like he's onto something here. So I decide to come clean. I tell him that I do in fact drink, I just can't afford it right now. I don't need to tell you he knew all along. And far from making me feel embarrassed or uncomfortable, I felt understood and supported. So much so that I brought up 2 sandwiches that I've been hiding in my backpack. So in the spirit of honesty, I decided to ask why he hadn't kissed me on the first date, if he actually liked me. And he told me that he'd been on a couple of dates where he, at the end of the date, had said, I like you very much, I'd like to see you again, so and so, and they kiss, and when he reaches out for the second date, they tell him they would rather be friends. And he was very uncomfortable with the possibility that someone felt like they had to kiss him. And more importantly, he didn't want to kiss someone that didn't want to kiss him just as much. And if I already liked him, this consent talk was really doing it for me. I didn't kiss him because we were on the beach, and my idea of kissing could get me charged with battery. But I did suggest that we do the thrift shopping some other time, and maybe for our third day we can go back to my place because I have some UFC moves that I really want to show them. Fast forward, we're married. He wanted to be Argentinian, what can you do? We just give them the pleasure. And now I can afford a glass of wine here and there, but honestly I don't crave it anymore. Because just like he said about kissing, the wine was less about the drink for me, and it was more about doing something I want to do with someone who wants to do it just as much as I do. Thank you very much. Spanish, so I'm going to switch to Spanish here for a second. Mi nombre es Eliana, hablo español, soy de Argentina y a partir del mes de diciembre vamos a estar acá en el Dance Theater haciendo un show de stand-up en español. Estamos muy nerviosos, así que vamos a necesitar mucho apoyo de la gente. Le vamos a poner de nombre literalmente stand-up en español Chicago para que no haya dudas y lo puedan encontrar. Van a poner stand-up en español en Chicago y vamos a salir. Así que muchas gracias de nuevo a todos por estar acá y por la oportunidad, y muchas gracias, los dejo con Néstor.